Hi, everyone. I'm your host, Patty GIARRUSSO, and this is Let's Talk Pets on Society Bites Radio. I hope today finds you safe and well during this time of crisis. It's an incredibly stressful time right now for everyone, and it's my hope that sooner than later we can all return to our normal lives. With all the closures and changes out there today, can you imagine if you lost your pet? Would you know where to turn or who to go to for help? Well, every month I share interviews with our main focus on lost pets and how to find them and what to do if you've lost one. I've learned so much by doing this show, and it's helped me tremendously with my own nonprofit organization, Lost Pet Services, here in Florida. So today I'd like to talk about a really important event that is happening in our local area. We are super excited to be a part of the 2020 Giving Challenge, which is presented by the Manatee Foundation of Sarasota County, with giving strengthened by the Patterson Foundation. If you've never heard of the Giving Challenge, I want to tell you about what an amazing opportunity it is for nonprofits like mine. And maybe in your community, it might be called a Giving Day. There's all different names for special days like this. The Giving Challenge 2020 will take place April 28th and 29th from noon to noon. It's a 24-hour online giving event providing an opportunity for over 700 nonprofit organizations in Sarasota, Manatee, Charlotte, and DeSoto counties to raise money for their nonprofits. To make it even better, the Patterson Foundation is graciously matching one-to-one all unique donations up to $100 per donor per organization. There's no limit to the number of matches an organization can receive, so you can see how important this would be to our organization as a small nonprofit here in Florida. As a part of the 2020 Giving Challenge, Lost Pet Services is proud to be the recipient of one of the early prizes that has been awarded, and that was for the Best Giving Story. We have many, many stories about pets we've reunited and those we've helped with medical care, and this is a story we shared and we just recently won a $500 award for. Throughout the year, Lost Pet Services, LPS, is faced with medical emergencies for lost and found pets. Between January 2019 and December 2019, LPS funded over $22,000 in medical care for injured strays whose owners were never found and for owned pets that were injured while they were lost. Most of these pets were hit by cars while they were running scared. Many needed surgery that their owners were unable to afford and would have had to make the heartbreaking decision to either surrender to the county to receive care or put them to sleep. Thanks to their heroes, Lost Pet Services was able to help 48 pets during 2019, many with owners and families who would have otherwise had to make a heartbreaking decision if help wasn't available. Thanks to the continued support of our community, made possible through generous donations during the Giving Challenge 2018 and throughout the following year, Lost Pet Services was able to keep these pets and their families together. For those whose families were never found, Lost Pet Services was able to treat the injured and sick and help them find new loving homes. Our medical pet assistance program, Marmalades Fund, allows us to continue to help these pets. We hope you will support us during the Giving Challenge 2020 on April 28th and 29th from noon to noon so we can continue to offer this much needed program for the strays without families and those pet owners needing our help. Be the one, be their hero. We want to share Faith's story, and Faith is a little Shih Tzu that was found, and we included her story in our giving story. Faith is just one of the many strays we have helped. She was found in terrible condition. She was matted terribly, full of fleas and urinating blood. She was immediately brought to the vet by one of our volunteer fosters and diagnosed with a bladder stone the size of an egg. She received surgery even though she was a stray without a known owner. Faith's owner was never found, but she was adopted by an amazing family after receiving her surgery and recovering. She is just one of the lucky ones. Will you be the one to help more pets like Faith? And that's our story that we recently just won, and we're really proud of that. And we want to thank the Community Foundation of Sarasota County and the Herald Tribune Media Group for selecting Lost Pet Services as one of the recipients for the Best Giving Story Prize. We have many more stories, and here are some of the others that we shared as part of this. And you can find them and others on our webpage at lostfoundpets941.com/giving. giving stories. And one of them that really touched the hearts of many and received a tremendous outpouring of love and support was Rocky's story. And Rocky was a stray who was found by someone out walking his dog one day, hiding in the bushes. And Rocky was found with horrific injuries to his neck and multiple injuries to his legs requiring immediate surgery. The source of the injuries was unknown, but his doctor believed they were at least 1 to 2 weeks old when he was found based on the severity of the infections. His neck required extensive surgery, and he remained in medical foster care for 10 days. After his medical foster care, he went on to live with his foster family, who is now his forever family. Rocky has fully recovered from his injuries and is now happy with his new first siblings and 2 parents who love him dearly. Rocky was a special pet, and we were really, really happy to be able to help him. And the other story that just received an amazing amount of support and such a coming together of our 941 volunteers and supporters was that of what we all called Red Dog when she was found, but we were able to find her owner, and her name is Mickey. And Red Dog, a beautiful senior, was found near death from drowning in a local canal. Our volunteers sprang into action and got her to the Animal ER on University for urgent treatments. Mickey was in critical condition and unable to walk when she was found. She received many x-rays, was placed in an oxygen tank overnight, and given pain and other medications, IVs, blood pressure monitoring, and blood work. Lost Pet Services funded her care through the generosity of our members and donors. Thankfully, her owners were found and she is fully recovered. Her owner told us that she was his mom's dog who had recently passed, and she meant the world to him. So we were so thankful that we were able to find Mickey's owners, and they were so thankful that we were able to help her during her emergency. So I want you to think about this. Think about your pet likely curled up next to you or on your lap. Maybe they're following your every move as you go about your day at home, especially now when we're all stuck at home. But now, what if that pet were missing? This was exactly what happened to me when I realized my 2 dogs, Jackson Brown and Rocco, were missing. This happened back in 2013. A gate had been left open while yard work was being done, and the 2 dogs decided to go for a little stroll. There was a moment of terror when I realized I couldn't find them, but thankfully, after less than 30 or 40 minutes of frantic searching, Jackson and Rocco were found and safely back home. My story could happen to anyone, and it does almost daily. It's been almost 7 years, but I can still feel the fear of that day. The frightening experience that I went through made me realize that there were no local resources for those who lose their pets in our area. And then we quickly realized, besides helping with lost pets, that we needed to do more. And then we decided to help injured pets. Hundreds of local pets go missing every month here in Sarasota and Manatee County, and Lost Pet Services is the only organization dedicated to reuniting lost pets, working 24/7, 365. We have successfully reunited over 10,000 pets with their owners. The purpose and mission of Lost Pet Services is to provide help for families and pets to keep owned loved pets out of the shelters and homes safe with their families, not just owners dealing with the trauma of losing a pet or finders, getting the skills to reunite a found pet. One of the programs that makes the biggest impact besides reuniting lost pets is our medical and pet assistance program, which we just talked about some of the stories that we've helped with. And we call that Marmalades Fund. And you can read about Marmalade on our webpage and why we call it the Marmalade Fund. You can go to lostfoundpets941.com/Marmalades Fund to read more about it. Lost Pet Services operates on the belief that an animal's perfect home is the one that they're already in. So we offer this emergency medical funding and pet assistance during times of need. Already during the first 3 months of 2020, we funded close to $7,000 in medical care for 23 injured or sick pets. It's also important to note that besides helping families, we have an outreach program that isn't just considered for low income people, because even for the middle class family, vet bills can quickly add up when a pet needs intensive care, especially after being hit by a car. So, our goal is to help families keep their pets for life. Too many people are just a few paychecks away from a financial crisis, especially in times like today. Most of the medical and emergency care can cost anywhere from $200 to upwards of $5,000 that we've helped with. And these are situations that many families, even the middle class families, would simply be unable to afford. I want to include a couple stories from some of our group members today, and these were their favorite stories about how we helped them and helped pets in need that they remember, and also one story about a pet that we recently helped. So the first story that was shared was the story of Achilles, and Diane writes to us, "The story that touched my heart was a dog named Achilles. Achilles and his brother Odin went missing. Achilles was found in a ditch a few days later after having been hit by a car. Odin was found deceased. Achilles required extensive medical care but eventually recovered. Lost and Found Pets 941 came to the aid of the owner and covered the medical expenses. The members of the group came together to send prayers, love, and healing energy to both Achilles and his dad. I can't imagine the pain Achilles' dad went through during this traumatic experience. The outpouring of love, donations, and prayers touched my heart. If this story doesn't represent the good that this group organization does, I don't know what does." And that was sent to us from Diane. And Achilles' care was extensive. He was our most expensive medical case to date. He suffered major injuries, broken bones, deep cuts, and he required extensive therapy after his surgery. His medical bills were over $5,000, and thanks to the generous donation that we received, we were able to help his owner with $5,000 for his medical care. The next story that we received was about a 17-year-old senior little dog, a little rat terrier named Gabby. And Gabby was recently lost late in the evening. It was well after dark near a very busy intersection. And members of our organization rushed out to help search for Gabby. The next day, we printed up flyers, and hundreds of people shared Gabby's information on social media. And after 2 long days, Gabby was found. And here's Gabby's story, as told by her mom, Kate. "This group has absolutely restored my faith in humanity. I was beside myself, and I had complete strangers come and drive in my neighborhood looking for her. I had complete strangers sharing information and giving me great tips and suggestions. Gabby is 17 years old, and she was my mom's dog, and she loved my mom more than anything in the world. My mom passed suddenly, so she is extra special to me. And to know hundreds of people prayed for her has just blown me away. Thank God for your group. You are really the best people out there." We just love receiving stories like this, and we get them a lot. We have almost 29,000 members and 1,000 more on our other page. So we've got a lot of people that follow us, and, people that are thankful for what we do to help them. But sometimes families, particularly senior citizens, require a different form of help. And through our pet assistance program, we provide them with simple things like food, bowls, beds, crates, collars, leashes, kitty litter, and we also help them with general wellness care for their pets if they're unable to afford it. And this program is a catch-all that kind of fills a gap in care that could otherwise lead an owner to have to surrender or abandon their pet. And we believe keeping families and their pets together is the most important because they do belong together. Now, Fiona's story is an example of how we helped a local senior citizen here in Florida. Fiona's story was one that shocked and amazed all of us. Fiona was found just a couple blocks away from me, and I was the one that went